Two of the funnier movies to come out in the last 10 years have not been American movies. They've been from England, and they've had the comedy trifecta of director Edgar Wright and stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And I'm, of course, talking about Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Now, you all know I love Shaun of the Dead. It was on my top 100 list of favorite movies. I also love Hot Fuzz and the TV show they all did together called Spaced. Uh, really funny stuff, really entertaining stuff, and great because uh, it speaks to me as a nerd. These guys are just dorks. They are complete and utter geeks, and you gotta love them for it. And they, of course, they also made my top 10 movies I'm looking forward to list because they've got a third film coming out together called I think At World's End, and I don't care what the plot is. I'm there. Opening day. That's a movie I would go see because I just think these guys are geniuses. But uh, they did Nick and Simon did a movie together without Edgar Wright as a director, and they made it in America. And consequently, the movie just didn't click with audiences the way that their other stuff did. Which is a real shame because it's such a great movie. It's such a funny movie. And I'm of course talking about Paul. This movie they made with director Greg, I guess Motella, and this is an underrated little movie right here. Quick summary of the plot. Nick and Simon are on holiday in America to go to Comic-Con. They are the two biggest nerds in the world, and they just wanted to go to Comic-Con and then take a tour of UFO hotspots in their RV that they rented. And on the way, they run into an actual alien, voiced by Seth Rogen, and that's the title character, Paul. And they're being chased by these government agents. The lead one being Jason Bateman. They pick up this Christian conservative girl who ends up becoming enlightened, and she's played by Kirsten Wiig. And it's just a fun little sci-fi road trip movie with all these little geek moments to it. Great little things like they're at a sandwich place and it's called Gertie's, or they go into a bar and there's a country western version of the Cantina song from Star Wars playing. And and this is my favorite moment. I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to just go ahead and do it because it was my favorite moment in the movie. Is that Sigourney Weaver's in it, playing the main bad guy, and at some point she goes after the Kirsten Wiig character, and another character says to her, "Get away from her, you bitch." That's funny stuff right there. If you're a nerd, you're laughing your ass off the second that line is uttered. And I was shocked that it didn't do better. It had all the ingredients to be like a big hit comedy film, and it just didn't make it. And I'm going to look at why here. I think part of it is the fact that it is an American movie. This is an Americanized version of what Simon and Nick did with Edgar Wright. And I think a lot of people probably didn't like that. I think a lot of people want the sort of pure British humor that these guys did together. And Paul is not that. Seth Rogen's presence as Paul Americanizes this movie. Which, by the way, Seth Rogen, this may be the funniest part he's ever played, and he's not actually physically in the movie. He's just the voice of this CGI creature. Um, but this is one of those movies that I feel like does what an American movie can unabashedly do, which is it's just there for fun. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, funny as they were, had these sort of serious moments, and they were asking certain questions that were also a bit serious. Paul doesn't have a serious bone in its body. Paul is not about serious. Paul is about comic books and The Empire Strikes Back and Star Trek and just a celebration of all things geek. It's not looking to make you think. It's not looking to make you question anything. It's just there to make you laugh. And I think movies like that are insanely underrated. I can't tell you how many times I've seen on a message board somebody writing about a comedy. And, they'll say, oh, well, this was just a stupid movie and it didn't even make me, it didn't even have a plot. And did it make you laugh? Did you laugh during the movie? Because to me, that's all a comedy is required to do. If a comedy can be more than that, that's great. But if it can make you laugh, it's done its job. Paul made me laugh consistently throughout the film. Now, in looking at reviews, like online reviews, one big criticism keeps popping up that is not a valid criticism. And I'm going to go off on a tangent for this, and we're going to get away from the movie for a moment to talk about religion. Yes, we're going to go there, because all of the negative reviews that I see on Amazon or in comment boards or, on whatever website, all seem to center around one thing, and that is the very staunch, agnostic, atheist views of this movie. As I said, Kirsten Wiig pops up as this character who she's got, it's hilarious because she's got a t-shirt of Jesus shooting Charles Darwin. So she's loony. She's a loony fundamentalist Christian, played totally for laughs. And in the movie, Paul enlightens her. He has sort of this tactile touch where he could just transfer all his knowledge about the universe into another person. And he does this to her, and she realizes that her religion is false. And suddenly it opens up her mind to where now she's like, she's trying to swear and she can't do it. She doesn't know how. So she's saying these ridiculous things and, she's like, I can drink, I can fornicate, and it's funny because she's suddenly aware of how silly all of these rules that she's always followed her whole life really are. And that deeply offended a lot of people. And to that I say, blow me. Okay? Blow me. You know what? You're offended by this movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. But here's the thing, okay? Religious people in this country, especially this country, need to realize that they are not being persecuted the way they think they are. You control our government. We can't even get, can you imagine a presidential candidate coming out and saying, I'm an atheist? Yeah, no, he would never get anywhere near the White House, okay? So you've got government, you've got all these seats of power. Most movies and books and stuff are in your favor. Every now and then something's going to come out and poke holes in what you believe. And you're going to have to take it. You're going to have to take it. You're going to have to accept it because you can't have everything. You can't have everything. Okay? We get to have something too every now and then. We get to make fun of you every now and then for what we view as ridiculous superstition. And Paul is, without any hint of apology, saying, you guys are wrong. What you believe is silly. And you need to take it. You know why you need to take it? And I'm gonna tell you why you need to take it, because I have to take that you think that I'm gonna burn in hell for all eternity. And I have to learn to not be offended by that. You think I'm gonna burn in hell, you think my kids are gonna burn in hell, you think that anybody who doesn't think like you is gonna burn in hell. Because we're not of the same faith as you. Or we were without faith entirely. That to me is offensive. To me, that's what I find offensive, is that, you actually think because of, I could be the best person in the world, and yet when I die, your God is going to cast me down, and I'm going to burn without reprieve forever. That's offensive. However, it's your right to believe it. It's your right to say it. It's your right to think it. And you know what our right is? To make fun of you. To make fun of you for thinking it. That's how we can defend ourselves and have our right to say what we want, is movies like this, or guys like Bill Maher, who can come out and say you're full of shit. And we have a right to do it. We have a right to make movies like Paul and The Da Vinci Code and Last Temptation of Christ. Movies that will come out and say, either you're wrong, or you're wrong about this, or just sort of make you question, okay, maybe you're not wrong, but, what does that mean? Is it good that you're not wrong? Is it, maybe your religion isn't perfect. And I know I've gotten off on a huge tangent, and this video has been more about religion than it has been about the movie Paul. But really, if your whole thing is you can't take someone poking fun at you, if you can't take someone saying you might be wrong, don't watch Paul. Don't watch Life of Brian. Don't watch movies like that. That's not a valid criticism of a film, though. You have to, if you said it's not funny, if you said the acting is bad, if you said the direction is horrible, if you said it was miscast, those are criticisms. It being offensive to your particular religion is not a valid criticism at all, because that's what it's trying to do. That's like when people say, well, Transformers is just loud and dumb and stupid. It's trying to be loud and dumb and stupid. That's not a criticism. A criticism is, you could talk about the plot, you could talk about the characters, you could talk about but the point of Transformers is loud, dumb, stupid action. The point of Paul is to make you laugh. And one of the many ways, not the only way, but one of the many ways it makes you laugh, is to poke holes in religion and make fun of it a bit. And, you just have to take it. Or don't watch the movie, But we, atheists and agnostics, we get our films too. You can have The Passion of the Christ, and I'm not going to boycott that. I'm not going to hold up picket signs and call you out on the internet about it. However, you got to let me have Paul. You got to let me have Paul, okay? If you haven't seen Paul and you're curious, it's out there, it's on DVD, it's on Blu-ray. Go. It will make you laugh. It will, even if you are Christian. If you're Christian, just, realize that other people have different points of view from you, and you'll find that this movie is kind of funny, and it might just make you laugh too.